we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mia, and this is Lori, and welcome to day 4.
Day 4.
Yay! We're so excited about the homework, the progress you guys are making, learning how to brainstorm, and putting things into your columns and your spaces that you know that you'd like support with. This is really an amazingly huge step because not everyone, as you can see, because most of you that we've spoken to have never done, well, everybody has never done this before, this type of a process. So it's really exciting. Don't be frustrated. Ask for help, as many of you are, and we're really proud of you.
Yes, absolutely. I love that you said don't be frustrated, because I find that in this work, everyone is capable. Everyone has everything they need inside of them. So it's never about us, teaching them something that they don't already have. So much of the work is simply redirecting that frustration that comes up, like, oh, this feels so big, I can't do that. And really, a lot of that just comes from the fact that the brain only has access to what it has experienced. So if you've not experienced the things that you're wanting, the brain's like, yeah, I don't see how that would work. That's probably not going to work for this reason or that reason. And really what we're here to do is to bust through all of those silly, honestly, messages of the brain and just know, how can we work with, what's right in front of us. And as we connect to that authentic self, right? That was the whole purpose of day 1, was understanding kind of who we really are, because that brilliance, that greatest you, knows exactly what step needs to be taken next. It may not know the 50th step, but we don't need the 50th step. We need to know what's the one next thing that I can do to keep this thing moving forward. And that's really what today is all about. This is the 3rd step in our process. And it's to take all of those incredible steps that you identified yesterday, as far as, here's some of the things that I have, here's some of the things I would like to acquire in order to pursue my goal. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take all of those and we're going to start creating actionable, small but meaningful steps that we can start to take. So I know that we talked yesterday and I gave you an example from my own life so that you could start to see how this would work out with a process. And so I'd love to just share with you a little bit about some of those goals. We had said that me and I know the value of creating a retreat space for people as they pursue things and really want to dig into certain areas of transformation, to take themselves out of their normal everyday life where they have to be very reactionary and always, tending to all the little pieces of life. It's hard to make those kind of changes. So we said retreat center would be amazing, where they could come and spend some time and just really feel into how things could be different. So shared with you some of the ways that some of the resources and some of the ways of thinking about what do I need? What do we need to bring this into being? And so I want to just I'm just going to give you a couple. There were many, many steps that came up, but I just want to give you a couple so you can get a feel of the types of things and the way you can break them down. One was, I'm going to get a book on running a retreat center. Start looking online for the marketing that other retreat centers do to see what we can learn and what we might want to be thinking about. And further, this kind of a goal could be broken down much, much smaller. I'm going to spend 5 20-minute sessions over the next 2 weeks, right? Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I have this great big thing I need to do. I'm going to do all this research. When am I going to do that? When do I have 2 or 3 hours block of time? You don't. So don't try to create one, because then a month or 2 or 3 is going to pass. And you're like, I still haven't done that step. And then you're going to feel the low energy, the low vibration of not having taken steps. So today, as you're going through this assignment, always be thinking about, how can I make this so small that I'm like, absolutely, of course I can do that. If my goal is to, find 5 books That does not mean that I have to create a day, right, where I can find all the books and leaf through them and do all, and start reading them or whatever it is. It's literally, I'm going to make a list of 10 titles, and then I can choose from those. And then, so it's really about breaking those steps down into something that has little or no resistance. So make your steps and then look at them and say, is that something that I feel excited about doing, where I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I can fit that into my week, no problem? Or is it like, oh, geez, where am I? I'm not sure if that's going to work, or I'm not confident that I'm going to be able to take that step. If that's the case, break it down further and further and further. It's about creating the right steps as much as it is about knowing what they are, or even taking them ultimately. This is a really important aspect of this process. And it's actually something that we spend a lot of time with people, because the brain's back here saying, that's not significant. That's not going to lead to anything. Well, okay, how about no action? How about doing nothing? What does that lead to, right? So that's why so much of the work is just about creating the right kinds of steps. One of the things that I really love to do that is so powerful in me, I know you can speak to this, is just sitting with the idea and imagining and brainstorming, different than yesterday, not steps necessarily, but just like, wow, I can imagine, here's a dessert that I'd like to make at the retreat that is both, enjoyable, it's healthy, blah, 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 just little things about it. I would like to play this song for people as we start this, this day of work or whatever. And like literally seeing and putting in the details. You may think, so far away, why would I start with the details? But these are the kinds of things that energetically connect us to what we want to create and actually make it the reality that we're seeking. I had a few other that I'll share, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mia for her thoughts on this incredible step and its importance. Another step was start talking to some close, trusted friends for guidance and support. And I wouldn't just put this, I would say, this person, this person, this person, this person, maybe, this week, and then one person. So really start to see how it would play out. I'd schedule a meeting with the banker and talk about financing possibilities. What could be options? And think about whether there's a way to start fulfilling my purpose on a smaller scale, like a place that we could rent or some online retreats while we wait for the bigger dream to come into being. And the last thing, there are many others. And I would, your specific steps are going to be whatever they are. There's no magic number. It's just kind of those guidelines that I shared with you. And the one thing I would really, really like for you to absolutely write down and start doing is start talking and acting like the person that has what it is that you're trying to create. So I did this myself. I'm a lawyer by training. And as I, knew that I needed to kind of shift out of that kind of life and do something that had more meaning and fulfillment for me, I was still working in that world, but really wanting this. And people would say, what do you do in casual conversation? And I would say, well, I've done legal work and I still do a little bit, but really, what I do is I'm this kind of coach, and I help, this is what I do, and start feeling into that and becoming that. That is one of the most important things that you can do. Start talking about what you're trying to create and what you want. If that's, some of you have written in and said, I want a relationship. Okay. So somebody asks you, are you married? No, but I'm getting really close. I'm feeling like I am, ready. And I know that person, start living into it. Maybe somebody, there's something that you want to create, a project of some kind. What do you do? You can say, I do this, whatever, and I'm working on this project, and just share it in a really, even if it's just a generic way, it doesn't matter. Your acceptance of it is basically opening the door to it, because everything you want literally is outside your door, right outside your door. All you have to do is open to it. So owning that in the way that you speak to people and the way that you show the universe, yes, this is me. So I'm ready for it, right? So these are some of the steps. that is one step that I really encourage all of you to take. And in fact, we want to see all your homework because we want to see where you might be either getting stuck or where you could have some refinement, or where we can just plain celebrate with you. But I'd really love for you to develop a sentence that you would be willing to share with the world as to, what, having already achieved what it is that you came here for, what would you share with people? How are you going to put yourself out in the universe in that way, having as if you've already achieved it, So Mia, I would love to hear your thoughts on, how this particular step fits into the bigger picture and the importance and everything else.
First, I have to tell you, I almost said California time because that's where I'm from. On the Pacific time zone. It's 11:11, everybody. So much love, make a wish. All right. So I love this. Today's work is so vital and important to us. It's fabulous. What Lori's really talking about too, and some people may not get, these are the things that I picked up out of what she's talking about. And it is what I've been listening to from people, and it's what has to happen. So she's talking about your true authenticity. Literally, who are you? What do you want? Not what everybody else is expecting you to be. What's that desire? When you have a desire, that's authentic. So be in that space of cherishing that. It's really beautiful. Time management was a big deal here, guys. We have all the time in the world. Now, see how slow I said that? Because literally, humans are afraid of time, not having enough. Lori has 6 children. I have a busy life. Do we get our stuff done? Yeah. Why? Because we understand time management. We understand that time is just there for us to work in without fear. See, people have fear around time. You have fear around your steps. There's not enough time to get this done. I loved how Lori stated, take 5 20-minute segments over the next 2 weeks. There is really, I'm sorry, I love y'all, literally, universally. I don't know you guys individually, but there's still love there. And I'm going to say this. No one is incapable of this. I'm sorry. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care if you're in bed sick. I had cancer 2 years ago, working on that and still working. There's people who have mothers and fathers that are sick. You can still do your stuff you're supposed to. You know why? Because you're closed down if you don't look at yourself. And that's the fact about being who you are. You want to thrive and move forward. So let's do it. Also, I want to say, Lori's so sweet and beautiful, and she's talking about the retreat center. I love this. And just so you guys know, we do retreats, and they are at places. We call them our centers. We rent them and we set up our retreats. So if you're interested, don't be shy because we've got them.
And Mia, let me just say, this is a process. We use this one because we used it in the past.
Yeah, and
we've made this happen.
And we're making it happen further. We're going to where we want.
Right.
And that's beautiful that she's sharing this with you guys, because this is our baby. This is our love. Mm-hmm. And it's really beautiful. Okay, so who are you? This is all part of the steps, guys, because you have to know who you are. Who's the 5 closest people to you? How do they interact with you? How do you interact with them? Do they stimulate you? In transformation, we talk about your 5 closest people better be way far ahead of you if you want to grow. For me, I'm at a place where I'm super happy. I have at least 5 or 6 really super close up here like me, and I have everybody else and close ones too that are maybe not at my level. But look at who you're hanging out with. Look at what you're listening to, because everything moves through your conscious awareness and stays in your subconscious. So I love to say, stand porter at your door of thought. Don't allow garbage in. Watch what you're watching on TV, what you're communicating with others. A busy mind. I wrote things down because I'm like, that's something that people believe they cannot do. You have a busy mind and you don't believe you can do this stuff. Take away the thought that things are impossible and start to open up to the grand possibility that you as a creator can create time and space. I used to be just like everyone else, where I was overwhelmed. There would be moments of darkness and I'm like, oh my God, how do I get out of here? I can't do anything. When I changed my life years ago, everything started to be smooth. Why? Because the concept that time was limited was removed. And I began to fall in love with time and play with it. It's gratitude, it's healing, it's moving energy. You are creators. All right. Now, the process of, as Lori was talking about, get into your space of quietness. Be in a space first before you can do your meditation, if you can, or your work here. I call things meditation sometimes when they're processes or going inward. When you go inward, you want to have an expectation to receive, right? How do you do that? Dance before, watch something funny, have a drink like coffee or water or whatever will stimulate you, lemon water. Be in a place of relaxation so you can allow your space for you. We, especially women, as humans, do not take care of ourselves because we're taking care of everyone else. And so in that allowance of being still, you can create everything. Go above what you absolutely ever wanted to do. Think, if you were a director of a movie, and you are, and you're the director of your own life, what would that look like, right? We've talked about these steps before, but what I want you to glean from is the excitement, the passion to connect to, because that's what you truly want, even if you're afraid to receive it or write it down. So being aware of what you want is vitally important. The energy and the access to open up is creation. So when Lori's talking about how she's going through the steps, and when Lori and I meet and talk about our retreat stuff, we're doing focused work. And then when we're exercising, or I'm taking care of the dog, or she's driving, she's doing her focused meditational work on it. What that does on anything you want, guys, if you're focusing in, you're expanding your awareness with ease and lightness. Daydream with it, play with it. How do you know that you can change your body if you can't dream it? How do you know you can look different if you can't dream it? How do you know you can't feel different if you don't know that it exists, right? What you don't know until you know it. So let's get to know who we are. When I was dealing with cancer 2 years ago, I got to a point where I didn't feel beautiful. So what did I do? I went back into the space of working on feeling beautiful and bringing myself back out. If I didn't focus or contemplate things, I wouldn't have known that. So that was a creation space of me, of moving into a different space. I had to go to the place that I knew that was stopping me and do something about it. And most of the work that we've done in the integrative package will take you out of those spaces, but be gentle with yourself. I know a lot of this is self-love talk, but that's also how we move from one emotional state of being to another, is through gentleness, communication with ourselves, and not yelling at ourselves. As humans, we tell ourselves off until we don't, at least 17 times in the first 2 hours of waking. That's a lot of mean talk. You're a mean girl. So get to be really sweet and connected to self. What else would you like me to speak on? Was that good?
That's awesome. That's exactly the things that we need to be thinking about as we're, organizing and really breaking down, right? That's what this is, breaking down what we want into as many steps as we can, create. And this is, something, this is not, oh my gosh, what if I forget a step? Right, then the whole thing is going to be ruined, or I don't know what all the steps are. It's not about that at all. As you take your next step, the next step is laid out for you. It's kind of like going over a bridge in the fog, right? It's like, I don't know what what it looks like up there, but I'm going to trust that the bridge is still there, and of course it is. So we're gonna build that, and we really want to, at this point, you've done enough work where you may start to have a sense of maybe your brain said, this isn't really going to work for me, right? I don't know what to put down on this page for this answer, or I'm just getting too busy, or literally anything that your brain is telling you is just resistance. It's not reality. You can do this work. And so that's why at this point in the journey today, we're opening up the accelerated calls for you. And what that is an opportunity to work with us in and really defining, number one, where are you experiencing some blockages in this work? And also, how are you going to take it forward? When the 7 days is over, you're not just going to put this folder or whatever you're working on the shelf somewhere and be done. We're going to take this forward, and we want to talk to you about how you can do that and what that's going to look like, so that all the effort that you're putting in to this, to this week is, you get to, it's beneficial to you and you get to take it forward. So it's time to book your accelerated call with us. This is, as I said, absolutely free. This is the one thing that Mia and I see after doing challenges and participating in a lot of challenges. The information is almost always top-notch and wonderful, but we need guidance. And that's why we decided to build that into this challenge. So it is time to book your accelerated call with us. So that we can get past, and anything that is standing in your way. So with that in mind, you've got a little bit of wonderful homework to do. We're waiting over here to see that homework, for you to share it with us and the entire community, to declare that this is what you are ready to do in order to make your dreams happen. Right. And the second thing that you need you to do today is sign up for your accelerated call with us, so that we can move through any blocks and we can really make sure that that path is clean and ready for you to travel.
And also, this is for the ones who have also done the welcome call. It's not limited, because it's more time with us. It's not a 15-minute, it's about between 30 and 45-minute call. And so take advantage of it. It really is to accelerate you.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations on all the beautiful work so far. We honor everything that you've done and put into this so far, and are just really, really proud of each one of you, and thrilled to be part of all of this creation. Like to even imagine, we get to just witness it. If nothing else, that is really special to us. So look forward to connecting with you in the group and also on our accelerated call.
Yes.
That link, Mia, will be?
That link will be in emails going out and on the Facebook page. We'll pin it to the page, so it's right there for you. We'll be putting it out for the next several days. Up until Sunday through the challenge, we'll be posting that link every single day.
Yeah, and so obviously it's a limited time, right? So you can book your call now through next Friday. So sometime between now and next Friday, we are going to be talking to anybody who signs up, anybody who wants this service. We're going to make it happen for you. So looking forward to all of that, and to hearing about what your steps look like.
So I just really quick, I looked on the calendar. So it's the 17th that the call doors close.
Gotcha.
Friday.
Yep. Friday the 17th.
We're
So let's get yours scheduled right now.
Fabulous. All righty. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
Bye-bye.